Hello, and welcome to I Don't Get It, the pop culture Get Off My Lawn cast, featuring the hopefully open-minded musings of two very, very early 50s curmudgeons, bravely staring down their entertainment irrelevance. I am your co-host. My name is Noah Tarnow. I am the founder and the senior quizmaster of The Big Quiz Thing, the trivia game show spectacular. And joining me for this episode, and really every episode, is my man, sometimes in Amsterdam, but this time in upstate New York. Say hello, Bill.
I mean, I'd say most episodes too. I have a pretty good attendance rate. Most episodes of this show.
Yes. Rounded to 100%.
Yeah, round. I'm not a math guy, but my name is Bill Scurry. I am the founder and proprietor of something called American Caesar Enterprises, which people would never guess that this is the service which manually stuffs individually folded tissue into a box. The process of which it takes each of our skilled artisans over 75 hours per handmade box of tissues.
Boxes of tissues with the folded thing and the magical thing that you pull it up and it's up there again. By the way, I remember a comedian making a joke how that's like the greatest invention ever. How does it work? You don't put batteries in it. You don't plug it in. Do you think when that was first invented, the boxes like that, the automatic, it's always there to pull it up, it was never done by hand. It must have been a machine from moment one, right?
I guarantee you, no, from moment one, it was not a machine. It was hand done. And then a machine was most likely invented to automate it, but a very specific machine, the same way those little grinders, arc welders and painters come out from like a Detroit car factory. They're made specifically to make a Ford Taurus for you. Right.
I'm inclined to disagree with you. I'm inclined to think that before the machine, they didn't have that little pop-up feature, right?
Well, okay, I hear what you're saying.
Were there really elves in a factory somewhere, or more likely in a sweatshop, folding pieces of tissue and inserting them in each other in a certain way?
I can count
for a box that costs, even these days, $1.29 or something.
The prototype of the box when they were doing the deck. Let's say it was like 1948.
Deck,
right? It's the
prospectus on Kleenex.
It's the Don Draper in front of the what is it? It's the carousel of your life.
It's not a tissue box. It's a dream.
It's a dream. Right. So that guy inside, they had a bunch of fobbits who were running down in the art department, and they had to manually fold the box for pitching. They had a big tissue. Maybe it's like his name was Jedediah Kleenex, or I don't know what the fuck the guy's name is or something. Right.
What a discussion. I'm actually going to look this up at some point because I'm mildly curious. Anyway, welcome to our show. So the gimmick here, folks, if you've never listened to before, is we look at something that's happening in the world of entertainment, usually pop culture, sometimes the news. This is entertainment. This is social media. This is an online trend that I read about in New York magazine Vulture, their sort of sub-magazine about popular culture at large.
I never understood the demarcation because the whole fucking magazine is about culture.
It's not true. They have a ton of political coverage.
Right, but that's also culture. It bleeds
then it's more on the popular.
Like I'm not busting your balls. I'm busting.
Right. My balls are.
They got there already.
You know what I remember? I remember the first newspaper I read with any regularity was USA Today. Do they still publish USA Today?
Sure do. Of course they do. Have you been to a hotel somewhere in Middle America? It sits outside your door if you ask for it.
USA Today had 4 color-coded sections.
I remember
Blue was, I guess, news. That was the front page, right? Then they had green, which was money. Then they had orange. I believe it was orange, which was sports. And then they had purple, which was called Life. And Life was just, I remember like the cover story about Oscar the Grouch or something. That was.
I'm glad they limited it to Life. That's
a nice. That's my point.
Boundary.
I found it even as like a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old. I found it weird that their term for like fun stuff for like, I didn't really know the term popular culture, but like TV and entertainment and all that was Life. It just seemed a little odd to me.
You know what they did? They tested first the known universe and decided to move it back a couple of ticks.
So anyway, I would argue that the distinction between New York Magazine and Vulture is akin to the distinction between USA Today and the purple life section where, you get all the freshest takes on Oscar the Grouch. So I read this in Vulture, and there are other articles about it. It's the latest social media photo trend challenge, as it were, and that's actually part of it. Hashtag Ella McCay Challenge. Ella McCay spelled E, if you want to look this up, ELLA space capital M, lowercase c, capital CAY. Ella McCay Challenge. Now, who or what is Ella McCay? Ella McCay is the title and the title character of a new movie that I think it came out yesterday, right?
Yeah, the 12th. Yeah.
The 12th. So this is peak. We're at peak Ella McCay Challenge.
We can't, right. If we recorded this at 5 a.m. yesterday, the only way we'd get hotter.
Only way we would get more scorching, yes. So this is the new movie, directed and written as well?
You better believe it. Who else would take credit for it?
Directed and written by entertainment life legend James L. Brooks. Now, how do you know James L. Brooks? James L. Brooks has worked in really television mostly since the 60s. And he really made his bones in the 70s. He created the Mary Tyler Moore Show, which great TV show, one of the all-time great TV shows. Also in the 70s, he did Taxi. In the 80s, he moved into film. I believe he won Best Director for Terms of Endearment, right?
Correct. And Nicholson won Actor, I believe, too.
For Terms of Endearment?
I think so, yeah. That was one.
Okay, Jack, we're not talking about Jack Nicholson. We're talking about
we should be, but
James
no,
L.
we're
Brooks.
not. You're correct.
Yeah. Anyway, James L. Brooks, he won that. He did a couple other movies in the 90s. He did As Good as It Gets, which I think is an execrable movie. He did one of your favorites in the 80s, Broadcast News, correct?
Correct, yes.
And in the early 90s, he got roped into co-creating. Well, he discovered, quote unquote, Matt Groening, because he was producing the Tracy Ullman Show on Fox, which led to The Simpsons. So he is one of the creators of The Simpsons. Did he write episodes of The Simpsons?
No, but professorially, you know what? The people who were there, the Sam Simons of the world, the guys who were like year one, give him a lot of credit for the tone of the show. He helped synthesize the direction and the sensibility. I mean, that got honed by a billion guys like Conan O'Brien who came in later. Right. But yeah, he actually gets a shitload of credit for having the jump off point of like what The Simpsons was going to be. That was such fertile ground for what it became, for sure. Right.
Oh, no, I'm no doubt he deserves credit here. Also, at the end of every episode, the little Gracie Films thing with the shh woman.
Yep.
That is his production company.
Correct, yeah.
So if you go see this movie, Ella McCay, you may get a little shush woman Gracie Films.
I will confirm that you do, but just continue.
Right. So Ella McCay stars Emma Mackey. That's confusing. Emma Mackey stars in Ella McCay. And it's really not important. It's a movie about, she's like a 34-year-old lieutenant governor in an unnamed New England state. She becomes governor and she balances that with her complicated family life. And it's a romantic comedy. And it stars her. The Daily Beast says her performance looks like Anne Hathaway cosplay, which I find funny. I think she looks like Emma Stone in a brunette wig. I think she looks just like Emma Stone. Am I wrong about this?
She's considered to be one of the 4 actresses that look like Margot Robbie, even to the point where
No.
Here's the thing: she was cast in Barbie as one of the alternate Barbies for an inside joke at the beginning. Yeah, she has a very small role. Sure.
If we're talking about looks, I always said Margot Robbie looks like she was drawn by Frank Miller. It's a real nerdy joke.
I like it. Sexy as hell. There you go, man.
It stars her. Playing her parents are Rebecca Hall, who's only 14 years older than her, and Woody Harrelson, who is 21 years older than Rebecca Hall. Good job, Hollywood. A bunch of other actors who I've never heard of. Julie Kavner, Marge Simpson's voice is in it, is also the narrator. And also in it is Kumail Nanjiani, who you might know is probably known best from the guy sitting at the table next to me when I ate at a restaurant in Los Angeles a few weeks ago.
Just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Best known for
that. The movie is not getting good reviews. Allison Wilmore, writing for New York Magazine, says it aims for a tone of screwball comedy, but misses not just that target, but the whole damn dartboard, landing in a place that makes you wonder if the characters have checked their carbon monoxide detectors lately, because nothing they do resembles the behavior of human beings breathing in the recommended levels of oxygen to function normally, unquote. So this movie is a joke. It's a bomb. And it's sad because James L. Brooks is an entertainment legend. He's 85 years old, so if this is his final act, it's a little sad. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it too. Sorry, I don't want to leave her aside. But we're not, this episode, our topic proper is not the movie Ella McCay. It is the Ella McCay Challenge.
This is so confusing, but continue.
Right.
Yes.
About Emma Mackey, right. Which, to quote the headline of that Vulture article, the Ella McCay Challenge is overshadowing Ella McCay. So what's happening is a Twitter user named Michael Roberts, he took a photo of himself standing in front of the Ella McCay poster, imitating the pose that Emma Mackey has on the poster. And the main image on the poster is just a woman standing there in like a tan trench coat, bending over slightly and lifting her leg in the air so she can fix her shoe. And Michael Roberts took a photo of himself in front of the poster, imitating that pose. It went viral. Now, the challenge is all sorts of people doing their own versions of that photo and posting it on social media. And to quote this article in Vulture by Fran Hopfner, this is how you do the Ella McCay Challenge. Quote, your left leg must be suspended midair, crossing over your right leg. Your right hand has to be adjusting your left shoe while your left arm lingers in the air. Your gaze should be fixed just above your left shoe, as if to suggest to someone that you're able to put on a shoe without looking too hard, or that you've just put your shoe on. And, most crucially, you must not be looking at the camera in the photo. That makes it sound more complicated than it is. So Michael Roberts started this. He claimed he was just struck by the randomness of the poster image. Why does this image of a woman fixing her shoe suggest the plot of the movie? There is no scene in the movie of her fixing her shoe. In fact, James L. Brooks responded to this on social media. He said her fixing her shoe is a metaphor for the story of Ella in the movie. So it has gone viral. Many people online have posted their own photos of it, of course. Some of the more clever ones actually, The Simpsons official online presence got in the act and made a short animated clip of various Simpsons characters doing their version of the Ella McCay Challenge. Homer falls through the poster. 20th Century Studios, which of course is behind the movie, is, encouraging it. And they are posting ratings of various people, out of 10, various people's attempts, which has led to other people on social media saying the whole phenomenon is an industry plant. People having fun with it as they do online. So I noticed this article. I noticed this trend. I looked up the hashtag on both TikTok and Twitter. I looked at the various attempts, and I assume you did likewise, Bill. So tell me, what do you think of? And you actually saw this movie, right?
I had to. Yes.
Yeah, I did not. So what do you think of the Ella McCay Challenge?
No, I have a lot of free time on my hands, I think, of the two of us.
So I take it, yes.
Yes, I had a morbid curiosity. I went to a cinema and I genuflected at the career cenotaph, the steely, cold, rain-streaked monument to the mighty Jim Brooks.
Now, do people really call him Jim, or is that just you pretending you're buddies with him?
No, that's the people in the business call him Jim Brooks. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but you're not in the business, Bill.
I like to think that I'm in the business. You know how it works. To alloy your point, I would definitely say that watching the movie is not necessary. It's not compulsory to participate in the challenge. In fact, I think by the looks of it, most of the people who posted images, in fact, have not seen the movie based on the box office. So this, no one has seen this movie essentially. But the thing is, it's like,
wait, come on, it opened yesterday.
But let's.
What is this bullshit calling a movie a bomb 12 hours after it opened? Give me a break.
All right, so we'll call it a bomb next week if you want to. We'll come back.
Maybe, but that always bothered me. The movie's dead. The TV show's a failure because its first episode only got 75% of the viewer. In the old days, they used to not give up on stuff so fast. Cheers was a bomb its whole first season. So was Seinfeld.
All right, so we want to go back.
Unearth. I hate show business.
Do me a favor. Pull Brandon Tartikoff's DNA and make a Serpentor out of him, like in season 2 of G.I. Joe. And give him life again and see if he can navigate your network.
Wait a minute. 2 things. One.
Yeah, sure.
Brandon Tartikoff is dead?
He's been dead since the 90s. Yeah. He died in like 94, 95.
I don't think I realized that. I just know the name. And 2, Serpentor was the second season? I thought that was way later in G.I. Joe.
No, this first season was like 60 episodes. That's why it seems.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I know.
I thought Serpentor was like, the line is getting stale. We need a new gimmick.
Well, I mean, they really move quickly, but you're not too wrong about that. That's sort of what it was like. Yeah, it was 86 for Serpentor, but the first season of G.I. Joe, I think, was like early 85. So they moved quickly for sure.
And when did they introduce Sergeant Slaughter?
It was that same season they went for the Sergeant
As Serpentor?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the big guideposts for me in my G.I. Joe knowledge. You're the G.I. Joe expert.
Not the Refrigerator Perry. That's a little deep.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the cartoon.
No, that's true. Neither was Rocky Balboa, even though they intended to.
They made a Rocky Balboa figure?
No, they were intending to, but they never got the rights. So he sort of slipped into the comic book sideways before they had the real opportunity.
He was in the comic. Oh, they made a Roddy Piper figure. I learned that recently.
Is that so? Oh, pretty cool.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No. Maybe it's on.
There you go.
You
learn things, Bill. See,
I
knew a G.I. Joe fact you did not. That's
true. Wait, was it a G.I. Joe figure or just a figure of Roddy?
No, a G.I. Joe figure. A G.I. Joe Roddy Piper figure.
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe someone lied to me, but they did a Sergeant Slaughter.
I don't know. All right, but here's the thing. Let's back to
let's not get into that. Okay.
The what is it? Michael Roberts was the guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So the idea, like a mere lobby standee. That's essentially what it was. The big ad collateral. This was like trying to sell a big idea. Brooks's sprawling / cloying vision. Again, I say that as a person actually.
Cloying is a good word for this.
Sprawling is also because it's sprawlingly cloying. It's really strange.
Or cloyingly sprawling.
Here's the thing. If I wasn't self-conscious, or more, if I wasn't less self-conscious of asking the two 20-something lads who work in the lobby of the theater I was in, I might have even goofed, one image out of myself doing it, by the way. And I just want to make sure that it's emphasize what you said. At no point in this movie is there a scene where Emma Mackey, the actor, does this. She doesn't do this gesticulation. This never happens. So I don't know if this key art came about from, was it poses? Was it AI? Was it an illustration? Like, we don't know where this came from. But much like a James L. Brooks movie, and you could go back to Terms of Endearment. Honestly, this guy, we're going to talk a lot of shit about this film and probably throw some trash on some of the other things he's made along the way too. He's a titan to me. The guy is a mogul.
Oh no, no doubt.
Right. And it's like, I think that if you had your career staked in 2 feature films, broadcast news, and Terms of Endearment, like that's enough. That's more than some guys get for their whole career.
Is Terms of Endearment good?
It's incredible. Yes, it's melodrama.
Really?
It's melodrama.
It's one of these movies. I'm like, this is like some sappy bullshit grown-up movie that's just going to bore the shit out of me. I never even thought about
the same way. Like you could say Harry Met Sally is like, this is romantic palaver, and yet it's like, however,
it funny though? Because I think When Harry Met Sally is funny.
It is, but what my point is though is the thing is when you watch Harry Met Sally, you say, I can identify what this is inside of a genre. At the same time, God bless you if you can find something better than this doing the thing inside a genre. That's why you have a genre, is because these things created the apex of it.
Right.
Yeah. So the Jim Brooks melodrama, especially in Terms of Endearment, I think came out in 83. It was like the same year as Officer and a Gentleman, which is also high melodrama, but such a successful movie. It's like, it was such a sign of the times. And Broadcast News is a great, sophisticated movie that is media savvy. It was one of the first pieces of art to Mary Tyler Moore was about a newsroom, but this was also about a newsroom, but it had a different sort of more cynical sensibility. The thing is, Jim Brooks was great at this. He's great at female characters. And, and that was it. His whole métier was like synthesizing Mary Tyler Moore and getting TV veteran Mary Tyler Moore to play that character inside the newsroom. And, there's so many things this guy does so well, and I don't know, you get to this point now where no one knows how to sell his movies. You just said the same thing. How do you sell As Good as It Gets back in 99? Like, what's the key art image for that? It's Nicholson with sunglasses raising a dog to his face, like in a blue sky.
No, it's the thing where he's just like turned up and it's like his head is like emerging from the ocean like it's such a weird poster.
But again, it's key art. It's like, again, how do you sell these ideas? And it's like, well, this was the same thing. I think that Brooks said, you know what? This is a woman on the go. she can't be stopped. I think a lot of people maybe don't recognize the fact that she's fixing a broken heel. Like that's what this image is. Her heel is snapped. It's come separated from her shoe, and she's not being slowed down by that. And it's like, I get it. It is a metaphor. It's not quite textual, but it's semi-textual. But at the same time, this movie had like stink lines on it, like Pepe Le Pew's tail before it came out, based on how people reacted to the trailer. And so it was set up for this kind of like mockery send-up thing before it came out. So I guarantee you that Michael Roberts had not seen the movie when he did this. In fact, I went back on his Twitter account. He did it a week and a half before the movie came out because it was a lobby standee. And
he just thought the poster was so.
Exactly.
No, I actually read he like went to see some other movie on Thanksgiving, and when he was there, he's like, "Look at this dumbass poster." It's
amazing, and it's talking about a movie that hadn't come out yet. This trend was biggest when the movie didn't come out, and I guarantee the people who did the damn thing on Twitter didn't then go see the movie. No. It's its own phenomenon,
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to this. I mean, one of the things I was really disappointed by is that looking at all these examples, hardly any of them have really any creativity at all, which I guess isn't a problem. But like, what's the value of this? I'm not really sure. I actually kind of like the concept. I like making fun of the randomness of the poster. It's actually a minor hobby horse of mine that, I just was attacking the As Good As It Gets poster because I feel like, maybe less so now, but the late 90s, early 2000s were the golden age of lazy, dumb movie posters. Do you remember the trend for years, where the poster was literally nothing but the face of one star?
Yeah, that was Rob Reiner's movie North was just Bruce Willis's face, for instance.
Well, the Kid, where Bruce Willis,
the Kid, yeah.
It's literally like, that was around the same time as Castaway with Tom Hanks, where their face is so big.
Robin Williams in Toys. It's got him wearing a goofy cap.
But at least he's got the goofy cap. Do you remember a movie called Sweet Home Alabama starring Reese Witherspoon?
Well, I know of it. Yeah, sure.
The poster is just her head from like the throat up. She's smiling and it's a plain white background. And I'm trying to imagine like what the marketing department is saying. Is it like, okay, people are so fucking stupid. Like, I get it. You want to sell the star. Like in the 90s, there were things that were like, it was the faces of the stars on top of some image, right? Even later, remember how the first Avengers movie, they had to have the mask off of Iron Man so you could see Robert Downey Jr.'s face, right?
His people argued for that. Don't get me wrong.
Right, of course. But at least there's other things going on. Posters like this, especially the Sweet Home Alabama one, like I'm picturing them saying, okay, we can't have anything else because people are so stupid. If we show them anything else, it'll, like the only message we want to give 100% is Reese Witherspoon. So I actually wrote an essay. I didn't know where I was going to get it published, and frankly, I'd never tried, but I wrote it, that the next logical step would be a movie that's nothing but a star's face. So I wrote a fake news article about the new movie coming out. This is before he was governor, called Arnold. And it's 2 hours of Arnold Schwarzenegger just staring at the camera, saying his name. That's the entire movie. And, it has to be a hit because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. By your hysterical laughter, I see why this was such a winner.
No, it just makes me think of Ass, the movie from Idiocracy.
We're halfway there, right? Yeah. I also remember a poster. It's probably 15, 17 years ago. Do you remember the Larry David movie, Whatever Works?
Oh, God, what a terrible poster that was. Terrible key art.
Do you remember what the picture was?
It's just him sort of shrugging, right?
There's nothing in the background, and he's got his arms to the side like, yeah, what can you do? It's just so forced and mannered and contrived, and I find those very funny, and I like making fun of them. I like picking on them. I think it's a mild form of mockery that is very satisfying without, being too malicious or hurting anyone's feelings. Also, picking on the marketing department of a Hollywood studio. Yeah, you're really a bully when you do that. So I kind of like the idea behind it. I mean, if nothing else, it's harmless. And frankly, maybe I'm puffing it up too much, but this might be what social media should be doing, mild mockery of people who either deserve or can stand a little mockery, something anyone could get in on. I mean, how many people can't do this.
You're 34. You just became governor of the state you were born and raised in.
No, tell me, why in God's name is this popular?
I mean, why not? It's like I said before, it's something anyone could do. It doesn't require, I mean, I bemoan that there's not a lot of creativity, but that might be good because, no one's demanding you do something wildly original to be part of the trend, to raise your hand and say, I'm part of the social media multiverse. So again, why not? And it's probably good that it's gotten limited traction, because while we are talking about this and I don't regret us talking about it, it's not, I mean, Jesus, I had yet another conversation with someone yesterday going, what is the 6'7" thing about? And I'm like, it's really not worth this level of discussion. Just listen to our podcast.
Okay. I thought it'd be dead by now, but people are like still making nighttime, like late night jokes about 6'7". Still happening.
Well, I will say this. I am very proud of the trivia question I wrote about 6'7", and I'm hoping it is at least still remembered in a few months when a very special event I'm doing, I think it would be perfect for it. I've used this question already, but I hope to use it again. This is at the level it should be because it's just a little blip that is fun and doesn't hurt anyone. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say it's wholesome, but it's people want something they can do in social media that doesn't require them to be a genius or to hate someone or to, tread a line where I might get canceled, or just it's just nice to have a trend that is easy, forgettable, and uncontroversial. So why is this popular? Why wouldn't it be? And also, it's funny. The poster's ridiculous, and it's fun to make fun of that. And again, it's fun to make fun of people who, deserve to be made fun of and you don't feel like you're bullying them. So, this has got it all, Bill.
Well, I think that the word popular is kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting here because there's not a lot of it. Granted, it was, Fran Hoffner and people of her ilk are on the hunt looking for stuff like this to write pieces for,
as are we.
Well, we need her to find this stuff out so we can use her reporting, if you want to call it that, as a guidepost for an episode. Yeah, it's great. Everybody, the giant podcast industrial complex wins for this. I think that the last few weeks, especially when, let's say, his thing was Thanksgiving, which was, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever, by this point. It's a really dim run up to the holiday. We just lit the first candle the other night or so. Christmas is in full swing.
No,
it's
that's a couple nights.
You get my point. Okay. But it's like, this has been a lot of shitty news about, oil tankers and blown up boats. And it's not been fun. I don't think anybody has the Christmas spirit right now, just because it's like, this is a lousy period in our history. And then culture.
It's not been a good year for America.
No, it's not. No. And so it's like, we're looking ahead. We're supposed to get excited about December 25th in light of it's like, oh, and everyone's paying, you're paying too much for $37 and things of the ilk, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. So, and the thing is, another stupid detraction on these infernal social media sites, I think is kind of tempting. If you could use it for something that's inane. And, I was going to say Michael Roberts is as, I followed him on Twitter afterwards because he's got a nice little bitchy compartment to him. I think the way he's an out gay man and he has a very snarky sense of humor, as a lot of people on social media I follow who are out gay men are kind of out there to throw a lot of bitchiness around. That's a voice. That's a voice in culture. And this, I think, the gentle mockery of this thing when he was just there wearing sneakers and a crossbody backpack and a large thick hoodie and a baseball. Like, he looks nothing at all like the image of the sharp dressed lady in the picture. And that's kind of the point. The mockery is like, look, I'm doing this thing like I'm fixing my shoe. I didn't even know what the fuck kind of shoe he was wearing. But everything about it, I think, was dripping with a little bit of mockery. He's not shitting on Jim Brooks' career or anything like that. But, there's something to that.
It's not even shitting on the movie. It's shitting on the poster.
Yeah, right.
And even shitting is harsh.
Correct.
Like, it's not really mild mockery is what we say.
Now,
right?
what's even weirder is like this might be the only blast of good news this movie is going to receive, because right now I think it's got 24% on the aggregators. It's not doing very well. I have not read. Like I said, I saw the movie. It is terrible. I mean, the text of this podcast, this conversation between you and me, is not necessarily a critique of the movie, but suffice it to say, compared to Brooks's work, it's not good. I mean, I just don't. This man has moved out a fastball. I'm not even sure he's got a knuckleball at this point. He doesn't have a fucking slider. I don't know what he's pitching because he's been out of gas since as good as it gets. After Spanglish, I don't really even know if the guy has.
Oh, he did Spanglish.
Spanglish was his follow up to As Good as It Gets.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's like I think people maybe are happy to blow a little wind in the estimable sails of a 20th century storytelling titan like Jim Brooks.
Hi, I'm the narrator. I'm here to provide facts about Ella McCay.
If you were a younger man, if you still had the fire of youth in your soul, someone who is more comfortable standing on one foot at a time, would you have higher opinion of this, be more engaged in it, have actually bothered to ask because I assume you went to the movies alone, correct?
Yeah, that's my fate. No, that's
who's going to go to movies with you. Yeah. Would you have had the gumption to ask someone in the theater to take a photo of you, or set your camera up and put it on a timer to take the photo yourself, or somehow do it as a selfie, or actually make the effort to bring a friend to come to the movies and do it with you?
That's the friend part. That's
the hard part.
A price beyond gems. I don't even know what you're discussing at this point. Well, no, I don't think I would have vibed with the movie or the poster as a kid. I mean, I say up to my teens. Although it's weird because I saw, Terms of Endearment, and
you saw that back when it was in theaters.
Well, no, not in theaters, but I guess it must have been early, primordial, the first primitive VHS that were sort of
really. Why would you, as a kid obsessed with G.I. Joe, see Terms of Endearment?
It was on the TV when my parents brought in VHS cassettes. And so it's like, this was the adult world. It was aspirational. And there were some, I tell you, the first cassette my family got was Beverly Hills Cop. And
that's a good one.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, that looks like this is aspirational. This is what adults watch.
Yeah, but Beverly Hills Cop is a lot more entertaining for a kid than Terms of Endearment.
Right, but I think that there was a sort of like a hazy line that was just anything over this is the world of adults. I hadn't differentiated the things that adults liked into bins at that point. Yeah, but Terms of Endearment was an omnibus movie. It's like a big weepy ball of pathos, but one of the best of them that's ever been made. That's the thing. I did enjoy Terms of Endearment, but I think that I took adult programming on a case-by-case basis. And so it's like, I might have been a little baffled by the image, and to be frankly, I'm baffled by the movie itself now, having seen it as a 50-year-old man. It's not really selling itself. And yeah, I know this is an easier buy-in. Like you say, the idea of either asking someone to take the picture for you or doing you really can't do a selfie because you're going to get some distance between you and the lens.
I bet, this is again, people aren't creative enough. I bet someone could creatively do a selfie.
I'm sure, but I guess in the history of this, in all the 10,000 episodes of this podcast, the challenges haven't really excited me. I don't think we did. The ice buckets came before we started doing the show.
That's right.
There was the cinnamon challenge. There was the Tide Pod challenge, which
we didn't do any though. We did a Grimace Shake was kind of a challenge.
Grimace Shake was a challenge. Gentle Minions was kind of a meme, but it was a little bit of a challenge. Hard to say exactly what that was.
That was definitely challenging.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I've eschewed the idea. It's like some of these things just sounded so stupid because it's like, I don't know. You're reducing this thing to something goofy like the Grimace Shake or Tide Pod was a fraud, but cinnamon was real. People really were gacking on cinnamon.
Yeah, what was that? It's the idea is like who can eat the most cinnamon at once?
No, the idea is that you take a teaspoon of cinnamon, put it in your mouth, and everybody, until you act like cinnamon is nearly like bitter, dry poison, like colloidal poison. Like you can't, it's incompatible with your mouth and the taste bud. So you would gack. Yeah. And so the videos, of course, were just people on the ground like catching their breath because they had this thing you're not supposed to eat. And everybody around them would laugh, and it was just everyone's cinnamon challenge was just like, oh, let's just watch this destruction of the mouth tissue, or let's watch these people be really uncomfortable for a while. As opposed, the ice bucket at least was the idea that everybody makes a goofy laugh as the cold water gets splashed over their heads. But they were doing it for ALS.
You want to hear something funny about not liking cinnamon? So my grandfather had the stomach of a goat. He could eat anything, which was good because my grandmother was the worst cook in the history of mankind. My grandfather would eat anything, right? The one food that he said he didn't like was cinnamon.
Okay.
He said cinnamon gave him heartburn. And it's just like look, despite putting a spoonful in your mouth makes your esophagus, spontaneously combust. I feel like everyone loves cinnamon. Like, who doesn't like cinnamon flavored stuff? But like my grandfather, who would, eat a dead horse, if that's what was put in. Well, it was horse kosher. He did keep kosher. So as long as it was.
I never thought about it as
I'm thinking horse is culture because those aren't cloven hooves.
It's not a dirty animal. Yeah, it's not a dirty animal.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't know enough about horses. Anyway, the point is it's family lore. We find it hilarious that Papa Jack would eat anything except cinnamon. It's just very.
You got to love shtetl Jews, man, or at least the shtetl Jew culture.
Well,
it's great.
Or grew up in Windsor, Ontario. Of course, I would try to do this when I was a kid because, as I've said, anytime we do a challenge or any social media trend, anytime we talk about that in the show, I crave attention now. As a kid, I craved attention even more, and thank God, social media wasn't around when I was a kid because I would have been so desperate to become some kind of social media star. I'd be dreaming of being an influencer or some bullshit like that. So I would do whatever I can to get attention. So I would go out of my way to go to a movie theater and take this photo and post it online. I like to think I'd try to do something more creative. In fact, I'm pretty sure I would try to do something more creative. Now, I might fail, but I definitely would try to do something more creative. So yes, even now, if I were at the movie theater now, I think I might do this. But as a kid, I would go out of my way to do this.
I don't want to act as though you were just retiring today, when really you're being forced to leave because of multiple relationships with women who work there.
Noah, tell me, is this James L. Brooks visual signage, strange inscrutable idea, is this somehow a sign of the apocalypse?
Or as he is known in the Treehouse of Horror episodes of The Simpsons, James Hell Brooks.
That's right, James Hell Brooks.
Yeah.
My name, I would sign during social media. I would sign my name as Boo Scary during the.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
or Bill Scary. Didn't Bill Scary? Isn't he the guy who wrote those?
Richard.
Oh, Richard Scary.
Yeah.
With the little animals in the little town, and I always like those.
They weren't that scary in retrospect, but you get the point. Yeah.
And he spelled scary with 2 R's.
That is true. Yeah.
No, this is not the apocalypse. In fact, in a sort of low-key way, this is anti-apocalyptian because, as I said before, if this were all social media is, just cute little jokes that are really at no one's expense and, anyone can either understand or ignore, social media would remain this benign, insignificant, novelty-filled aspect of life. Instead, it's, become the bane of human existence and growing more so by the hour, week, month, day, millennium, etc. So no, this is very non-apocalyptian. I mean, it's sad if this movie is James L. Brooks's final project, but even if it is, even in the story of Ella McCay, I don't think the Ella McCay challenge, I mean, it's telling. Read the Wikipedia page about the movie. They don't even mention the challenge. So, when a book is written about the making of Ella McCay, the Ella McCay challenge might not even merit a chapter.
So this is
thick
oral history of
the
Ella
oral
McCay.
History of Ella McCay. Yeah,
they blow it.
How
right
about
open.
the biography of James L. Brooks after he's dead, which might be written, right?
Definitely. That is
right.
Study. Yes.
I imagine if he dies next year, Ella McCay would get the final half of the final chapter, right? And I can imagine the Ella McCay challenge not even getting a mention or mentioning, 2 sentences or something like that.
Yeah, I think as a text, the movie itself would be studied, but this challenge is I mean, even among these things, this is a minor. Although there was more web presence of this than some of the other topics we talked about, where we've been squeezing stones to get to drop blood out of. But yes, that's no gauge of its importance. Yeah, and I don't think it's not an anti-apocalypse, but it's definitely not the apocalypse. I think that even as the movie is certainly, it's an inscrutable zenith of the work of Brooks' long career in TV and film. It is an
It's not the zenith. The zenith means it's the high point.
The apogee?
It's the what's the low point?
The perigee.
The perigee.
The perigee.
It's not the Zenith.
We did have a Zenith.
It's
television.
the Samsung of his career.
We had a Zenith television back in the days. That's why
we had Zenith too. I remember that.
I
Zenith
love
is
it. That's
also
the thing
TV.
should be named Zenith and Perigee and Magnavox. What's the point? We lost something here.
Magnavox is not a word, unlike those.
What is it? Ultravox? That was a band in the 80s.
No, that was a band.
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
saying we used to be able
band,
to.
yeah.
We used to be able to.
We used to name things in this country, right?
But yeah,
I know.
this is an unfortunate epitaph for the man who helped bring The Simpsons into culture. But I mean, culture itself is safe from any kind of bonfire, and this is a harmless thing. I'm glad that Michael Roberts got the credit for it, but this was really easy to reverse engineer. The forensics, it's so small, and it was so kind of like peaked and pointed that we're able to find out the first guy who had Ebola in this case, and it didn't spread more, beyond the margins really. So it's nice because the guy
you're comparing it to
I know,
Ebola.
Look,
Nice.
Michael Roberts got credit for a thing. It was almost like it was a one-on-one.
He's patient zero of the Ella McCay challenge.
It was a one-on-one repartee with the inventor of the meme, the movie itself coming out on an off-holiday weekend, a sort of dump weekend between, it's already being crushed by Zootopia's out there already, Wicked's in week number 3, Avatar's coming around. It's a strange gap in this thing. But
there's a new Avatar movie. I knew that. I just constantly forget.
You cried at the end. You're crying right now. I'm just glad everything worked out so well for Ella McCay.
Bill, are you in any way jealous of the Ella McCay challenge?
No, I can't get worked up by it. I mean, I was happy to study this because it was such an easy topic to get our hands on. And, in a way, in some sort of like sick fucking masochism, I mean, I asked you in our chats if you were going to see the movie. I mean, and you said, no, I can't.
I mean, if you thought it was important, I would have
No,
gone
I knew instantly that it was not compulsory. And it's like, oh, well, I'm going to see the movie. I'm cramming movies up my asshole right now because I'm trying to finish my
There's
list.
an image.
People want to
Okay.
know it. It's not it. It's literal. It's actually, it's very painful.
The film stock is, it's old, and those old-fashioned
The
canisters,
silver
too.
nitrate burns on the
Oh,
way up into the
man.
duodenum. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. Like this is a time where I do a bunch of, when I get closer to coming to New York City, I know that it's like, well, I've got to see stuff in the States that I couldn't get in Europe. And so it's like I'm trying to pick up a lot of pieces. It's like I'm trying to come up with a decent top 10 list because I got some podcasting responsibilities on Wrong Reel in a couple of weeks. So this wasn't one of them, but it's like I'm in a mood to see things I wasn't normally otherwise going to see. And it's like, this is the time to see films. And so I took a flyer on it. So yeah, you know what? I'm not worked up by the meme, and I'm one of the 6 people who actually watched the movie. And I think 15.
Wait, how many people were in the theater with you?
Oh Jesus! I was 5. I was
Really?
5. There were 2
That's
couples
sad.
and me.
Opening weekend.
And they were
That's sad.
boomers, and their phones kept chirping with text. All this standard bullshit. They're just like making. Don't go to. I'm sorry, boomers. Don't fucking go to a movie theater with boomers. It's just they don't understand that cell phones have a silent mode. They don't understand that they can't whisper to each other anymore. It's such bullshit. Anyway, but what about you? Any feeling of jealousy about this?
I don't know if this is jealousy, but we haven't really gotten into this, and this is more about the movie, but one of the critiques of this movie, it's set in 2008, correct?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And with
That-
no payoff.
Right.
Very
That it is
little
a-
acknowledgement.
Well, it's a political movie whose political stakes are so low. Like the scandal that's involved in the movie, wouldn't even register. Wouldn't register if a Republican did it, because Republicans basically are outright criminals, and it's considered, impolite to even question that. So it seems like it comes from a kinder, gentler political time. So maybe I'm jealous of, the people who still live in that era. I know that makes no sense. Again, this is more about the movie. I read about this movie. I'd never heard of Emma Mackey before. I'd never heard of half of these actors. Not only had I never heard of them, I had never heard of the projects they were famous for. Like, I look up Emma Mackey on Wikipedia. What other stuff has she been in? I've never heard of any of that. The guy who plays her husband, I've never heard of anything he's been in.
They're all
right?
fucking Brits doing shitty American accents.
I've
That's
heard of
why
Kumail
you're-
Nanjiani. Of course, I've heard of Jamie Lee Curtis and Julie Kavner. And Albert Brooks is in it, right? Albert Brooks plays the governor who resigns.
in a terrible wig, but yes, he's in it.
Really? Okay. So I jealous of that. I don't know. People actually doing the challenge. Okay, here's something I'm jealous of. I want to participate in social media, but I never think of anything to say. So I don't. So I just wish I had that muscle to kind of do it, right? If I were going to a movie theater tonight, I'd do it just because I'm always looking for things to post because I feel like I need a presence. I don't know why. No one really cares, but I don't know. I'm a social person. It's called social media. I want to be part of the world. So I guess I'm jealous of people who live more comfortably in that world because I don't know, it reminds me that I'm getting old, I guess.
It's called social media, yet most of the power users are shut-ins. How's that work,
That's, it's a different form of socialness, sociability, right?
Sociability, it's ironic.
Yeah.
All right, so what about, I think that the most important thing we talk about now, because this is generally unimportant, is where do you rank this amongst all of our topics that we've discussed as a body politic, our show here?
So a relatively recent phenomenon, another movie-derived social media thing from this year, but way more elaborate, was Chicken Jockey. Remember Chicken Jockey? People go to movie theaters.
How could you forget Chicken Jockey? It's like, the sculptures of Louise Nevelson or the paintings of Robert Rauschenberg. How could you possibly?
A comparison that has never been made in human history.
That we know of.
A Minecraft movie to Robert Rauschenberg and Louise Nevelson. So Chicken Jockey obviously was way more elaborate. People brought live chickens to movie theaters and threw them at the screen and dumped popcorn everywhere when Jack Black yelled Chicken Jockey during a Minecraft movie. So take Chicken Jockey, divide it by something that was like a challenge pretty much anyone can do. But again, a little more elaborate than this, which is, remember The Shoot?
Yeah, that was
The Shoot
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
It was a while, right?
Yeah.
So Chicken Jockey divided by 1/2 of The Shoot plus 3.771486953.
This is simple, a little 101 of me to go with this, and I already said it. It's like I think this is a successor of Gentle Minions. I think Gentle Minions.
There's something there.
Now the thing is,
Gentle Minions was way more elaborate.
It was. That's because the thing is, Minions itself is enormous. To call out yourself in the, it was made billions of dollars, made trillions of dollars. Like they were able to buy Mercury based on what kind of money they made off of Gentle Minions or Minions.
The planet or a car.
The planet, the movie or the
planet.
Or the
god.
The planet. The Planet of the Apes. The movie or the planet. The musical.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they were able to buy Mercury apparently.
Yeah, like that phenomenon was enormous. The amount of complexity that would go into it, the fact that the guys had to dress up legally, compulsively, they had to dress up in suits.
If you want to participate, yeah, sure.
I know, and this thing, when they went to the theater, everybody was wondering, it's like, what is this? Are these some sick, is this goof? Or is this like...
Is this a sex thing? What's going on here?
Is the precursor to some public shooting? It's like, what is this, honestly? Nobody knew what it was. But the thing is that that required a little more ironic buy-in from the user if you're going to play along with it. But this is like, an amino acid of that larger protein in terms of like how it's built.
There you have it, Bill.
All right. No, I think that is the last of this topic. We will never speak about it again unless we mention it in other contexts. Maybe this will keep coming up. Maybe we'll just, the rich substance of this will just continue to be, when we do the Brandy's Melville and the Acai's Bowls of the future, this will continue to come up as a comparison, maybe in the schema. Who knows? I don't know. But the thing is, if you'd like to find past episodes of our show, what you want to do is you want to look on Spotify, you want to look on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play. You want to look on YouTube with the video. Well, it's an audio show, but it's a video presentation. Whatever your method is for wanting to see these things. So you can skeet to us at noahandbillshow.bsky.social. Write to us, noahandbilldon'tgetit@gmail.com. Give us a review on the aggregators. That always helps. And this is, I believe, our last episode until...
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get to... I'm out of commission away from workstation.
Next week I'm in Las Vegas, the land of dreams.
I'm getting to New York City. And I'm without the capacity to podcast or edit. So I think clear till the second or third week of January. I think this is it. This is our midweek, our midwinter vacation.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Come back.
2026 will be better, I promise.
I can't promise, but I certainly hope it's going to get better. So yeah, I'm personally at billscurry.bsky.social. at William Scurry on the other social media sites, the infernal devices, infernal social media sites. YouTube.com/AMCaesar. And here, Noah will tell you where those cold, chilly, warm nights where you can find him to keep you company.
I am all about the Big Quiz Thing, America's premier providers of corporate and private live trivia events nationwide, worldwide. We got a big 26 coming up. Hire us for your own private party, corporate event, team building, you name it. The best in trivia nationwide. And we have a rare public event coming up. We're coming back to where it all began, the Slipper Room in New York, the site of the very first Big Quiz Thing 23 years ago. We're doing a rare public Big Quiz Thing event on Monday, March 2nd, starring me. So buy your tickets now, available at bigquizthing.com. And or you could follow me personally on Instagram at the Noah Tarnow. As I said, I don't engage with social media as much as I like, but the more you show up there and the more you like my posts, the more it'll encourage me and the more it'll kick me in the ass to actually do it. So you get what you give, friends. You get what you give.
All right, everybody. So until the next episode, we talk about the McCabe and Mrs. Miller challenge.
We don't get it.
A production of American Caesar Enterprises 2025.